Good morning. What's up? How's everyone doing? So yesterday was an absolute bloodbath. Couldn't believe it. I went on a rant when I got home. I don't know if you guys saw the short that I put out. It's just like me ranting about how fucking ridiculous this week has been. And it's like one of my more popular videos in a while, which is pretty funny. I'm like getting more followers from a random rant about how fucking crazy it is to be in cybersecurity than a ton of videos. So people on yesterday's stream asked for a more chill stream. I don't think I stopped talking for 3.5 hours yesterday with the amount of stuff going on. I gotta go check the VOD and be like, did I shut up for any length of time? Excuse me. Man, the pollen is insane in Texas right now. So apologies if I continue to sneeze. I should have like a mute button. Yeah, what's up? S. Robertson, Fred. Arson? Your name looks new to me. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Subscribe if you're not. So yeah, some people yesterday were like, yo, chill stream. Let's talk about some AI stuff. Let's talk about RSA. Aries, sorry. Aries on air, got it. I was like, Arson air. Sorry. What up, Aries? Oh, we chatted at PAX after I got off stage. Thanks for hanging out. Are you in the Boston area or did you travel? I traveled straight from SF to Boston for PAX East. That's what this stream was going to be today. Actually, it was to kind of chat about kind of the trip, SF, PAX, everything of kind of all the conversations I had. So yeah, actually that conversation that we had was going to be a topic we talked about on stream today. So cool that you're here. Oh, just an hour south. Cool. Man, my sleep is so jacked up because I was in SF kind of long enough to adjust a little bit. I try to not adjust. I try to just like get up early when I go west, but B-sides and RSA stuff, stuff happens. What's up, Lecrage? What'd you say, Fred? I missed it. My neighbor is switching from lab tech to software, and I told him cybersecurity is the only area worth it. Yeah. I mean, I think infrastructure and cloud probably still have a long career ahead of them. You know what I mean? Like DevOpsy type people. You said software, so it's quite literally not software, but a lot of DevOps stuff is like infrastructure as code. What's up, Justin? So yeah, if you guys were hanging out yesterday, I literally don't think I shut the fuck up about all the crazy stuff that was going on. So today was going to just be like RSA recap. We could talk about some stuff that's still popping up, but I didn't want to talk about all the news that we talked about yesterday today. If there's any updates, we can. And if you guys have any questions, we can kind of do Q&A today too. Just wanted to chill for a little bit with you guys. I could probably hang out for a few hours. I have an assistant. Like I have an executive assistant. It's like the best hire I've ever made. She is getting targeted with crazy spear phishing attacks this week, like payroll and tax stuff, which It makes sense this time of year, but kind of nuts. Have I heard of OSAI, new course launched by OffSec? No, but long have had a good opinion of OffSec's material, right? Like the OSCP is kind of one of the only certs that I ever told people was worth it. I'm not a big certification guy. If you're new here and haven't heard my cert rants, I can certainly stand on a soapbox and talk about certs. OSCP, I always said, was worth it. It's so hard to pass that it's pretty legit. My issue with OffSec and all of those courses is that they're not very accessible. In order to pass those tests, you gotta people stay up all night, 24, you pull an all-nighter to pass the OSCP. It's that hard. You gotta get as many points as you can. You're doing stuff that takes a lot of time. The proctoring remotely is really weird. So I always said, imagine being a single mom trying to get your OSCP. Imagine, right? Who the hell, or just having any sort of health issues in general where you should not be pulling an all-nighter. You know what I mean? That's my issue with them, right? It's you're really only attracting more men with means to do this, unfortunately, right? Is what their kind of branding is. So my little bone to pick with them. I don't know much about the OSAI, but just OffSec in general. I did see a bunch of the ports of Claude code. What's up, Coyote? Email filter systems been picking up a lot more malware embedded in payroll HL fishers the last couple weeks. We didn't have malware. There was just total spear phishing, but yeah. And yes, coffee for sure. I don't even know whose Yeti this is. C2C Media. I don't even know. They don't get their branding facing out. Happy April Fools, everybody. I am not a big prankster, so you don't have to brace yourself for some bullshit today here. So who all was out at RSA/SF? Or we could talk about PAX first. Aries is here talking about PAX. I don't know if you guys knew this. So I went B-sides SF. I flew out Saturday morning, so I was out there pretty early. And then B-sides all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Kind of funny for me was B-sides. B-sides is arguably my favorite security conference, B-sides SF specifically. I took one of my team members from Volnu here who runs a lot of the ops stuff behind the scenes. And it was his first security conference. And he said he had never been to, but he goes to a lot of other conferences with trade show booths and stuff like that. He said he had never been to a conference where the booth people were not trying to trick people to come talk to them. That they were just chilling at the booth and everyone was happy to go chat with them. That's the B-sides SF experience. The sponsors are all small to medium businesses, and their founders are usually there, or their head tech people are usually there at the booth. So it's yeah, there's probably some salespeople floating around, but generally you're having really good conversations at the sponsor booths, and it's cool to hang out in the sponsor area because the Bug Bounty Village is near there, and the crypto village, all the villages in the sponsor booth area is kind of commingled, and the big outdoor patio is right there too. So it's just a really good spot to they lay it out really well. All the talks are downstairs, the sponsors and co-mingling spaces are upstairs. So you just kind of aggregate near the sponsors. Must be really high value for the sponsors. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think about 50 to 60% of the booths were already sponsors of my content. Super cool. So B-sides SF sponsors sponsor my content, at a pretty high rate. So day one was kind of walk around and talk to all them, build those relationships, say hi and thank you to people I know that support what I'm doing. And then day two was the other half. Hey, have you heard of this little thing that I do called Vulnerable You? You want to come chat? Would it be worth it to go to B-Sides Maine? I mean, so I will say mileage varies on B-Sides conferences, right? I would try to talk to someone who's gone to B-Sides Maine and see if they have a good thought about it. They're community run conferences, right? The smaller ones that are like regional, yeah, like I've heard really good things and people get really involved, and like usually the local community that puts it on are like the good people to like go talk to in that area. The content is usually, pretty good. It's looking like the closest one. Yeah, there's got to be B-Sides in Massachusetts or New York. But okay, so B-Sides started when a bunch of people got their talks rejected from Black Hat and DEF CON, and then we're out in Vegas, and they were like, screw it, let's rent an Airbnb and a projector and give our talks to our homies. And then they did it at RSA too, because they were like, this is a great idea. Let's throw our own little side thing with all of our homies. Right. And so I was at the first B-Sides Vegas, B-Sides SF. I was there. Right. It was very chill. Then they were like, all right, let's do it. 501c3. Anyone that wants to start a B-Sides, what's up? Here we do. Go. Tampa B-Sides, I was shocked at how big. I've never been, but I saw pictures from this year and I was shocked at how big it was. I guess I didn't really realize what a big like metro area Tampa is. I've never been to Tampa. Generally, rule of thumb is like the best B-Sides have an A side. Like there's a big security conference going on, and then there's a B-Sides going on at like the same time or like a little bit around it. So Vegas and SF are the two biggest B-Sides by far, right? And they're really, really good. Some of the smaller regional B-Sides, you kind of get the vibe that they're a job fair, right? Which is cool if you're like looking for a good job fair, right? But, like I said, mileage varies on some of the smaller ones. And then some of the smaller ones are awesome. Like, Tampa's not even that small anymore, but it's a regional one, right? But I've heard great things about like B-Sides Nashville or like B-Sides Knoxville, B-Sides NOLA in New Orleans. I've heard great things about a lot of these. So yeah, definitely check out some regional stuff. Anyway, the two that I never miss, not B-Sides, but just the 2 weeks of cyber stuff that I never miss is RSA week and Vegas week, right? They're just, the whole industry is in the town that week. So even if the conference was mediocre, which it's not, they're all really good. Then the people that I get to see and catch up with and the side excuses and all that kind of stuff are the best ones. So I always recommend people go to those 2 weeks, because just the networking alone, and just sign up for as many side events as you possibly can. Like all these vendors throw events at all these places, and it's always really good. So, forgot to turn my on air. DEF CON's gonna be fun. Boxing with Tyler. I know Tyler. I never met Tyler in person, but I talked to him. What up, Roman? I'm doing the stream because you asked for it. Thanks for showing up. You're going to a local conference pretty soon. Yeah, I owe my career to go into some of those first conferences. I've told my career story on here before, or like my get into my career story, but I'm not going to do the whole lore dump right now. But just like to put a cherry on this topic, I think all but one boss that I've worked for, a person that, scratch that, like every job that I've had, either the boss or the person that introduced me to the company I met in my first 6 months in the industry in 2 conferences, ShmooCon in DC and Black Hat and DEF CON in Vegas. Everyone I met at those 2 conferences is somehow responsible for the rest of my career. Right? So just go to these things and meet people. Yeah. I did a little short on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram that as I walked past this bar that I went to like an early meetup at early in my career. Those kinds of shorts never get any views. So you guys probably didn't see it because the algorithms are like, what is this? This isn't cybersecurity news. This is a guy walking around the streets of San Francisco. Let's push this to the bottom of the stack. But yeah, I like walked past some bar that I like specifically remember in San Francisco, like flying out there and going to this meetup. And I was still in college. I was just visiting California. And I was like, let me go visit this girl in California. It's always a girl. Ugh. Weak. The minds of men are weak. Anyway, while I was there, I was like, oh, there's this meetup going on in SF. I should go to it. And it was at this like dingy Irish bar in an alley. So fun fact, when I told that story, I said, oh, this guy was at NASA, this guy was at Google. They were talking to each other. I was terrified. I was like 21. Like, what am I even doing here? Like, you know, I like interviewed with that guy at NASA like the next week. I didn't get the job. I think like the budget ran away for it. I wasn't qualified for anything at the time, but it was a junior job. But he was working at Mandiant that like staff auged onto like NASA Ames Research Center or something like that. I still talk to that guy to this day. He was like one of my first job interviews in the space, and he's like a friend, whatever. And then the guy at Google that I specifically remember having that debate, like they were just kind of ribbing each other about like, you know, NASA versus Google on like cooler places to be working. The guy at Google is like ostracized from the community. Turns out he was like an abusive predator type guy. Like I didn't name either of them in the video, but I was just like, oh man, I was in the room with that guy and he was like a pretty big name in cybersecurity, and now he's like excommunicated. Yes, I always try to go to House of Prime Rib when I'm in SF. I did not get to go this year. I tried really hard to get a group of people going on like Monday night, and they were all too drunk. I stopped drinking a few years ago, so sober boy on the streets late at night, and I'm like, can we go get some prime rib, please? And everyone was a little too drunk and just wanted to go to the next party. No one wanted to go sit down and have prime rib with me and have like a normal volume conversation. Ugh, lost my voice. Rip. All right. So yeah, B-Sides was cool. A lot of good talks. I can't wait. The videos of the talks are pretty good. So maybe we'll do some like live stream where we watch some talks together and react. I actually have a few AI talks that I thought would be cool to do that soon today too. You don't drink either? Cool. I used to drink heavily. That's why I stopped. I was having a little too much fun. So my family tree is just filled and riddled with addiction. So I saw the train a-coming and I was like, better hop off these tracks. So yeah, I'm like 3.5 years ago. Who's counting? You'd show up for that stream. Yeah. I'm looking at this talk literally right now of, there was this conference called Unprompted, and it was like AI security conference that a lot of people went to, and there was really good talks. NDA versus 3 beers. I saw that tweet recently. I was like, there's no NDA that can survive 3 beers. It's so funny. It's so fucking funny. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, this Unprompted conference has the talks out on YouTube now, and I heard the talks are really good. I haven't watched a ton of them, but that'd be pretty cool. what was I saying? SF, B-sides. So B-sides was good. The talks were good. They're gonna come out. We can kind of hang and watch some talks one day. That'd be cool. RSA, it's funny, a bunch of it got really aggressive. Oh, my favorite event that I went to at B-sides, like after hours, was Detection Engineering Weekly, which is like a fantastic newsletter put on by my friend Zach from Datadog, who he runs detection engineering at Datadog. He runs this newsletter. He wasn't even monetizing it for quite a while. I kind of talked him into taking some sponsors because I was like, bro, you're sitting on, basically another salary, right? He's got this niche audience, like this pretty big and like highly niche audience of detection engineer, people who are interested in detection engineering. It's a fantastic newsletter, really, really good newsletter. And he threw a little party. So he reserved like the roof of some place, and some vendor swooped in and sponsored it for him. So he didn't even have to like try to get it approved by Datadog. So like Co-Tools or something like that sponsored. And honestly, it was like the best little crowd at B-sides. It was a really good crowd. Some of the Decibel VC guys were there. John Tuckner, who I've interviewed on YouTube about browser extension stuff, he was there. I talked to the Co-Tools guy. They're like a Y Combinator startup doing AI SOC stuff, which, I mean, I don't envy anyone in the AI SOC space right now. There's so many AI SOCs out there. I've done a ton of work with Dropzone, so I'm super familiar and like pretty impressed with what they're building. But my God, I'm glad they've got a little bit of a head start. Datadog, currently setting monitors on Datadog as I listen. Sweet. So Zach's awesome. Hack the Planet. What up, Kilobyte? Thank you for the sub. Oh, that was a Twitch sub. Boom. Thanks, Bretta. Oh, yeah, Kilobyte, you weren't here yesterday. Yeah, I came back yesterday. And, the whole fucking world was on fire. So everyone was like, yeah, we should do a chill stream where we just catch up. So today's the chill stream where we just catch up. There's so many I can't point out any specific vendor. Yeah, the whole vendor landscape is huge and crazy, but it always has been. The AI SOC space specifically is like the space that I'm just like, man, had some exams yesterday. Calculus. Kilobyte, I don't think I remembered you were in school. Calculus, dude. Fun fact, math minor over here, because at my school, my comp sci program was pretty bad. Like I went to school because I wanted to go to that school. I went to that school because I was lazy, and the admissions people came to my high school and did all the interviews, and I got accepted with a scholarship on site at my high school. And I was like, done, college sorted. I was just a lazy bitch. And their comp sci program existed, but it wasn't very good. But it all worked out because they hired a CISO like my last year there, and the CISO just happened to have a PhD, so they let him teach a senior seminar. Literally my last semester at school was the first time they ever offered a cybersecurity class ever. Was my last chance to take it. I took it, and that guy introduced me to everyone, told me to go on Twitter, told me to go to ShmooCon and DEF CON, introduced me to people that like still come and hang out and chat and whatever. So it all worked out. What up, Tib? Tib, your April Fool's joke was pretty hilarious. Let's pull it up. Let's give you some credit on stream. If you guys don't follow Tiberius, you should. He's like an actual good security person that makes content. Oh, I haven't set up my browser to share yet. Let's see if it remembered my shit from yesterday. Oh no, I'm nervous. I'm going to hit the scene. It might show a different browser. Do I have anything open that I don't want to show? Yes. Hey. Okay, that browser can close. This browser can close. Oh my God, I have too many browser windows. So here's the problem. I didn't set up my screen share beforehand. So I'm going to switch to my browser window and I don't know what browser window it's going to share. So I got to like make sure that I'm not sharing like my fucking taxes or something. I got it anyway. I was paranoid for anything. All right. Funny Tiberius April Fool's joke. IPv6 addresses are too hard to memorize. That ends today with the launch of my new free service, Sentence 2 IPv6. Fuck this. This is a nightmare. The lazy chickens explode awkwardly beneath the mad toilet while the ugly dogs eat the imaginary bacon is your new IPv6 address. I like it. I like it. Solst was like, net improvement over IPv6 is your joke. It's pretty funny. What up, Jay? Back to school, ASU, cool. The ink spots. I don't want to set the world on fire. I'm currently in talks with my high school CS teacher to influence the up curriculum. So, Fred, I tried to do this. I'm like, hey, I'm kind of a like cybersecurity guy that like would love to give back, because I would do guest lectures at colleges a bunch, and I would teach the AppSec portion of these CS classes because they never had any AppSec, right? They'd be like teaching pretty basic security concepts. So early on, I'd be like, hey, I'll come do an AppSec lecture, teach all the chillins about cross-site scripting, you know? And I did it in San Jose a bunch, and I did it at my old university a bunch. And so I hit up it was actually a fraternity brother of mine. I was in a fraternity. Don't judge me. It was actually kind of cool. And we could talk about that more later. It's not what you're picturing. And then, but one of my fraternity brothers wound up being a teacher at my old high school. And so I hit him up and I was like, yo, what's the comp side stuff going on over here at high school? Because it kind of sucked when I was there, but I took computer programming. They offered computer programming as an elective at my high school for like, it was either half a year or a year that you could like officially sign up for it. And then I talked my guidance counselor and the computer teacher into letting me do it as an independent study all 4 years. So I just sat in the other computer programming class in the back of the room. They were learning the shit I learned the first year. And like me and one other guy were like learning C++ like in the back of the room, right? As like independent study, right? So it was not a great comp sci program. And so I hit up this guy and I was like, yo, I'll like come help out, right? Like kind of what you were talking about, Fred. Like, hey, I'll influence the curriculum. I'll come talk. Maybe I can mentor some of these kids. It was a low income neighborhood, you know, it wasn't a good high school. So kind of wanted to give back kind of thing. And he's like, yeah, we actually don't even have computer programming anymore. Like they got rid of it. I was like, what? Like you slid backwards? I was here trying to like level you up and bring cybersecurity into it. And they were like, he was like, nah, we just don't even have it anymore. I was like, what a disservice you're doing to this community of kids. Like this is the biggest industry on the planet. And you're not even giving them like a fucking intro class into what like coding is. I couldn't imagine. I took it all 4 years. I did Visual Basic in ninth grade. And then I did, you know, Java and C++ for a couple of years. Couldn't believe it. I was like there trying to volunteer to like help level it up. And he's like, nah, we just don't even have it. I was like, fuck, man, that sucks. But yeah, I'm on the alumni advisory council for my university. The same professor that I had back there hit me up and was like, hey, I'm putting together a bit of a cohort. Seems like I'm not the only like alumni that's like gone and made a career of himself. So they just took away so many choices to break out a lower middle class. Yeah, dude, this is my issue, right? Because like, Roman, you met me live streaming on TikTok. One of the main reasons I don't live stream on TikTok anymore is like the questions were just all like the most basic career questions, which is fine. Like we all have to do that kind of shit, but it was just a flood of them. And like people, like you start to just realize and get depressed that it's literally just lower income people looking at the world hopelessly, hearing that cyber might make them $100,000 a year, which isn't even like a salary that you could live off of in a major city, you know, not to be like elitist or whatever, but you make 100K in the Bay Area, you're below the poverty line, right? The poverty line in San Francisco is like 120K or something like that. Poverty line, right? So, but like you get these people that are like, they hear that they can make six figures in cyber and they're just fucking throwing Hail Marys. They don't know anything about anything. They just heard, right, that it's like this ladder out of, you know, this impoverished neighborhood, which like I get and I want to support, right? There's some really good groups of people out there doing awesome work. But it's like, man, you just kind of get depressed and burnt out because there's also this like, there's this issue in this like whole economic divide where like a lot of these people they don't even know the like foundational skill set of like how to learn or how to do a lot of this stuff because their schools or whatever. I know that there are more important things than money, obviously, but that's what people are in there. Like I'm telling you my experience live streaming on TikTok, right? My experience live streaming on TikTok is every other cybersecurity live streamer on TikTok has a sticker floating in the air above their head with their salary, and they're promising you, and the salary is not even that impressive, right? And they're promising if you listen to them, they'll teach you to make the mythical six figures, right? And this laundry list of certifications that if you just join their Discord, they'll teach you to get these certifications, and then you too can make $100,000 a year, right? And YouTube viewers won't get it unless they've been there a while. Yeah. TikTok's a whole different world. And so it's just kind of like I kind of burnt out of it a little bit. I don't mind doing career Q&As. We can do career Q&As here whenever you guys want. It's a very different situation, right? Roman was there. I would get 50 people in there and the whole fucking screen would fill up about like, should I get the security plus? Like, should I get A plus? And I'm like, the A plus, like what? Right? And it's because every other live streamer is just peddling this shit over there. And then you start to realize that like there's almost this like learned helplessness. I don't know. I want to be careful with my words here because I don't want to like blame anyone. They're grasping at straws. They're trying to better themselves. But a lot of times, like you try to help people, you give them a good answer, right? And they're like, yeah, but how do I do that? Or how could I do that? I don't like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I just told you what to go do. Like I just gave you a bunch of shit to go do. If you guys in YouTube don't see Cyber Ties on the screen, I call him Roman. Roman's his TikTok name. He's on Twitch. He was one hanging out in there. And Roman, I don't know if you've done this because you listen to me, but you're doing a lot of the shit that I advise, right? Like you're writing blogs, you're going to conferences, you're trying to get internships, like you're showing up on LinkedIn, right? This is what I tell everyone to do. And they just are like, yeah, but what cert should I get? How do I get a job? Job, please. One cert equal job, please, right? I'm just like, hey guys, that's not how it works. You got to like know shit, do shit, know people. And you got to prove to those people that you know shit and do shit. And like certs are a net negative way to prove that you know shit or do shit, in my opinion, historically, right? So, Roman, I take zero credit for what you're doing, but I'm just saying you're doing the things that I was on TikTok for months telling people to do. There's just this weird like learned helplessness, right? It's odd. Because then you go in the real life. If you go to like B-sides or you go to any of these conferences, you don't run into that because those people aren't there, right? You followed your recommendation, joined your college cyber club, hackathon, CT. Exactly. This is it. Mozart, write LinkedIn posts about everything that your college cyber club is doing. Whatever the result of your hackathon is in a given month, write 3 LinkedIn posts about it so that you can point to something when you're in a conversation with somebody and be like, oh yeah, look, I wrote about that hackathon that we did last month. Right? You go to DEF CON, you go to B-Sides, those people that are there, like, dude, I met a girl. I was at like an invite-only cyber like AI meetup that some CISO ran. I don't even know how this girl got invited. I don't care. She's like, she was the most impressive person in the room. She had to have been 21. She walked around, looked everyone in the eye, and shook everyone's hand. Oh, you're standing in a little circle, little chit-chat circle with you and your homies, like I was in the back, because I was like letting the meetup gather, and I was just like catching up with some people I haven't seen. And this girl showed up and like literally breaks her way into the circle of like older fucking dudes, right? Gray hair and beard circle in the back. You know how awkward it is to like break into a circle of people, right? No, not Maddie. Maddie's doing great. Maddie's doing awesome, right? No. This was like a college kid. She comes in like, hey, can I join your circle? Right? Like, or just like weasels her way into the circle, right? And then there was a lull in conversation and she was just like, hey, look you in the eye. I'm so-and-so. I unfortunately, I don't remember her name right now. Maybe she added me on LinkedIn or whatever. Shook every person's hand in this circle, said, hey, I'm here. I'm in college. I have an intern. I'm doing an internship right now. This is my first time doing this kind of stuff. I'm just here to meet people and learn. Right? And I'm sitting there going, hell yeah. Right? Then there was like Q&A after the talk or whatever. And like the talks were like heavy, deep. Like I know that she didn't understand the panel responses because I've been her and I didn't even know, like I would ask questions and people would answer them. And I was like, I don't even know the fucking words you just said. I'm too dumb to understand the answers to the questions that I'm giving. Right. So I guarantee she was lost for a bunch of it. Right. Or maybe she's way smarter than I was at that age. So whatever. But even if you're not, she raised her hand and she was like, hey, I'm an intern. And so like you said this and I don't really know what that means. At the Q&A section, like whatever. I was just like, man, I'm so fucking impressed. Right. Make the opportunities easier. Yeah, totally. You make your own luck, right? A lot of this is luck. A lot of everything that we all get handed to us is luck, but you make a lot of your own luck. You're not going to get lucky sitting at home playing fucking Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Nah, I mean, I spent a dumb amount of money on Airbnb to travel to Texas for an internship. Turned out to networking opportunities and a job. Got to take risk, reward. Yeah, dude. I mean, you know my lore story in here, right? I fucking got my ass. I like hitchhiked to DC because I had no money. My feet were bleeding, dude. I like bought a nice new pair of shoes or something, like to try to like dress nicer, and like they were from like Payless shoes. They were like shitty shoes. My Achilles was bleeding walking around DC. Right? I slept on the floor with a blanket and a pillow. I didn't even have like an air mattress on the floor of my friend's studio apartment in DC. There was hookers outside the building getting arrested when I showed up in DC. I had to walk. I couldn't afford a cab. Uber didn't exist. I couldn't afford a cab. I had to walk through bad neighbors in DC to sleep on this freaking thing to just be there. And I met people that got me my first jobs in cybersecurity after hitchhiking down there, you know? This is what it takes, man. I don't have to be the smartest. I just have to know how to get A to B 50%. As long as you can build something so that it breaks it, you learn that way. Dude, you know how many... Do you think that the leaders that I've worked for at Fortune 100 companies are the smartest people that I've ever met? I hate to break it to you. Some of the highest people on the career ladder are nowhere near the highest IQ. They just have the fucking audacity, you know? Switch video game to bug bounties. Hell yeah. Dude, I was having a conversation with someone the other night. They were like, we were just trying to get to know each other. Just someone, I've been on the road for like 9 days, right? So I'm meeting a lot of people. We're just getting to know each other, right? And they were like, oh, you watching any fun TV shows right now? And I was like, couldn't tell you the last TV show that I like actually. I've been like trying to watch The Pit because I hear good things. It's like on season 2. I watched one episode. I'm like, bro, I'm a dad of like a young kid. I do this. I run my own company. Like, I was like, my hobby right now is like trying to get off the capitalism treadmill. Like, that's my hobby right now, you know? And I don't tell people this. I don't encourage you to do this. Like, I don't encourage you to just not like invest in yourself and hobbies or whatever. I'm just saying that's what you're up against. Not up against me. I'm not even the top fucking 10% of this shit. Well, maybe 10. I don't know. 5%. I don't know. Whatever percent. But like, there's just, you know, you're up against some psychopaths that are going to outgrind you. Right? Anyway, I don't know if you're ever going to see this video, but if you came to the writer.com like CISO AI meetup and you were the girl going around introducing yourself to everyone, it impressed this old guy right here. What if I have a BS in business analytics and approach everything via database design, statistics, modeling, log events? How do I answer this? PP poo 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 69. Like, what the fuck is my life that I just had to say? I'm having a very serious conversation with PP poo poo 69. Like, what the fuck, right? Anyway, PP poo poo. Yeah, I think you're doing the right things. So I think the BS is good. You got the stamp. HR will not think you suck. Your frontal lobe developed while you got your BS. This is what I encourage people to do. I don't care what your BS is in. You went and got it. HR doesn't care anymore. Whatever. Now you got to figure out what you actually want to do and spend your time doing. That's what I tell everyone. What do you want to spend your time doing? Do you want to write code? Are you just trying to make money? It's cool. I'm very coin operated, right? You know, some people aren't. Some people want to clock in 9 to 5, enjoy that time, and go do family stuff, or, you know, buy a boat and go do fishing stuff. You know, I lived in the suburbs of Houston for a few years. You know how many people in the suburbs of Houston own their house outright because they're double income and the house was dirt cheap and they paid it off years ago, and their whole fucking life is about like their kids traveling volleyball and baseball team and they go on their boat every weekend? It's awesome. Like, it's not for me, but it's awesome. Right? You're not usernaming hard enough. You like coin, less code, sometimes small code, enjoy strategy. Yeah, Roman, you're on the right path, dude. You're going to be fine. Have I been to Mothership? No, it used to be an Alamo Drafthouse movie theater in that building that I would go to all the time. Mothership's like, I've heard a lot of my friends go. I like stand-up comedy a lot. I think the crowd that coalesces there is a little bro-y comedy. Like, I've got some like hard to offend friends, and so they weren't offended, but they've gone a bunch of times, and they're just like, it's a bunch of like podcasters saying the R word and like gay slurs and making fun of trans people as the whole bit. Like, that's the whole bit. Like, the whole bit was they're just like the whatever. And so no, I've like not, and it's like hard to get into. So I'm like not willing to jump through the hoops to go hear podcasters say gay slurs as a joke. Some of my favorite comics have gone there, and I would love to. It just sells out so fast. You know what I mean? Favorite comics? You love comedy too? Yeah. Yeah, I'm super into some of the funny podcasts. So do you watch the Game Changers clips? Like Sam Reich and whatever, he has that improv game show. It's like Whose Line for the TikTok era. Fucking gets me, man. Oh my God, go look up Game Changers on TikTok. You're welcome. Oh God, it's so good. So good. It's just Whose Line Is It Anyway, but like TikTok. Yeah, you love Dropout. I'm not a Dropout subscriber. I should be. I should just support them because it's so fucking good. It's like, Roman, you're too young for this, but there used to be this website called College Humor that, like, if you're a millennial, that was it. Like, that was the pinnacle of comedy on the internet. So much of our bullshit jokes and memes came from College Humor. And it's a lot of, yeah, Caleb Heron and Chris Fleming are two of my current favorites for sure. Chris Fleming's stage work is insane. I got to see Dan Soder live in Austin a few years ago at a comedy festival. He's kind of a smaller guy. He's getting more popular on TikTok and podcasts and stuff. But I got to see his stand-up. I got to see him do there's this comedy festival that comes to Austin every year called Moon Tower Comedy Festival. And there's headliners, but then there's all these side events that they do podcast live recordings. Or I went to one and it was like 10 comics doing 15 minutes each. And I saw Dan do like a tight 15 at that. And I just had tears rolling down my face. Dan Soder. He was in the show Billions. He was like a side character in the show Billions, which was a good show. So much of your humor came for College Humor. Dude, okay, hold on. We're gonna find we're gonna find a old Matt picture that's gonna prove my unk status for sure. Hold on, I gotta log into a different fucking Gmail account. That's how old we're about to get. All right. Let's see. Let's see how good Google Photos search is. And if I scroll all the way back, yep. Oh my God. Oh my God. Unk status. Unk status. Here we go. If you get the reference, there's just peak millennial. So I'm the one on the one on the left. These are me and some of my college roommates for Halloween. This was not back in the 1900s, I don't think. But you college humor folks, do you know what I am dressed as? College humor fans. Strong Bad, yeah, that's Strong Bad for sure. That's my buddy. That's my buddy Pete. He works at Bug Crowd now. Does anyone know what I'm dressed as? College Humor fans. 1,000,000 points. 1,000,000 points if you get it. Welcome. It is insane. I don't know. I think someone was dressed in a really offensive costume that year, so I'm not going to flip through any other photos. You must forgive us. This was pre-social media. Not ringing any bells. All right. Let's see if I can pull it up and we can laugh about it for a sec. The guy who stressed the CEO in the mask. No. It was a very specific College Humor bit that I would quote way too much. Let's see if it's on YouTube. Yeah, it is. All right. Oh my God. We're gonna laugh at. It's on Dropout. Dropout got all the IP. It's on Dropout's YouTube. I didn't know they got all the IP.
Does anyone have an older version of AIM? This new one's impossible to navigate. How do I add a buddy? I just joined the largest group on Facebook, but I'm not really sure if that's true. There's only 30,000 people in it. I'm almost positive there's a bigger one. Oh snap, has anyone seen this 9/11 blog? Claims the whole thing was a conspiracy. Wild.
This is
I've
peak
been thinking
millennial
about
humor.
getting a cat, but I don't want to get all the accoutrement, like a litter box and a leash.
Okay, guys, for anyone else old hat like me in here, we didn't have like constant meme sources. Like we had to latch on to some of these quotes. Like my vocabulary was mostly like Adam Sandler and Will Ferrell movie quotes. My whole vocabulary. We would just latch on to some of these quotes for years, right? I said accoutrement because of that video. So I'm thinking about getting a cat, but I don't want to get all the accoutrement. I used to say accoutrement. I found out what the word accoutrement meant via this. Like,
You know what I just realized? I haven't been to Taco Bell in exactly a year. 1 year. Hey, does anyone have the new Beastie Boys on their iTunes? And if so, could you share it? Pitchfork says it's the hotness. Oh, fat. Cookies.
Oh, fat.
Could anyone flatten this and slide it into my mouth hole for me? Fine. I need not the calories. So what's the...
I still say that. I forgot that that's where that quote was from. I still say I need not the calories. I'm like, oh, fine. I need not the calories. Could someone flatten? Oh, yeah. He goes, oh, fat. Roman, how I know that you're not my age is you spelt it like that. Proper spelling, please. Oh, fat. Could someone flatten one of these cookies and slide it into my mouth hole?
The deal? Can I just snag these? Can I just snag a few of these, or do I have to pay? Boss, I'm afraid I'm going to be late tomorrow. A general malaise seems to have come over.
A general malaise has seemed to come over me.
How many spins do you think I can get? On one push. One.
Yes, Aries. This is the source of some
Who's
memes.
the new record?
I need new desk. That's fine.
See if you can beat 2.
No, you're unsubscribing for my millennial cringe? Please stay. Anyway, that's what my Halloween costume was. There you go. If there ever be any questions that Matt J is an unk, let those questions be dispelled. Because I just still found that funny. You support my cringe uncle. Dude, I love that you said, oh, fat with an F. True millennials know. It's PHAT. Cringe maxing for the win. I'm out here jester gooning. I don't know. Anything I've learned about that guy, Clavicular, I don't even know if that's how you say his name. I've never heard it said out loud. But anything I've ever learned about Clavicular, I've learned against my will. So, oh, dude, that was funny. I haven't thought about that in a while, but we were talking about college humor. It's like looking at a mirror, to be honest. I still have my AIM and Yahoo email addresses. Yeah. My villain arc. Guys, like 5 people left the stream while we did that. People showing up on Twitch like, what is this guy? What is this guy doing? You had to explain to your 15-year-old brother that it's not healthy to smash your face with a hammer. Oh, Jesus. I like that guy, Channel 5. What's his name? Andrew Callahan or something. I think he makes really good like docu series type YouTube videos. He also interviews very random people, and he interviewed Clavicular, and it was painful. I watched like a few minutes of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is atrocious. Atrocious. Cybersecurity, nah, cringe nostalgia. To be fair, I think I updated the title, right? To just be like chill stream after the cybersecurity madness. So it's chilling with cyber, side of cyber. I needed this today, guys. After last week and yesterday, I was dying. I do not know why. I'm getting more followers from my rant video than I've gotten in like any video in a long time. Like, it's just me being like, cybersecurity's fucked. I was like, no one's gonna watch this. You know, I didn't like even put a green screen on. I was just like, nah, it's just me. It's just me, and we're just gonna rant. You know what video still is making the rounds on social? I still get like tons of engagement with is that Pink Power Ranger taking down the white supremacist dating site. I still catch engagement from that. It was pretty funny. This is not to brag. This is to talk about how dumb I am. I don't know, like my Instagram came up a lot in conversation through last week because people were like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, oh yeah. Instagram pays my bills. I was like, no, I run a media company. It's just this Instagram thing. And they pull up my Instagram. And it's always funny to like catch like randos who pull me up. And then they're like, it's funny to look at who the mutuals are. It's like who follows me that they follow. And apparently like some like weird influencer celebrity type people follow me that I don't have any idea who are, but it impressed other people. They were like, what? The such and such, whatever. What do you think the best next steps for the industry to try and stop or at least reduce the impact of all these supply chain attacks? Yeah, these supply chain, like something's got to give on the supply chain attacks. The thing is, I don't think the solution is like on you or like on the industry, right? Yeah, of course, there's some best practices that we can all do to minimize the impact of those supply chain attacks. You don't pin the latest in package JSON. You give 7 days. You have 7-day lag behind all new package versions, right? So we'll catch malware, but you won't be exposed to CVEs for very long, right? Like the 7 days is kind of the mathematical right way to do that. There's some good tools out there. I think Socket, Step Security, like there's some good ones out there that like, even have free stuff to like try to catch malware and whatnot. The issue being that still it doesn't matter. The vast majority of people aren't going to do the things that I'm talking about right now, right? So yeah, do it if you're smart. And even if you do it, like I said, I was just working on some Claude shit. I'm having like Claude do some vuln research for me. It's pulling in all sorts of packages right now. I know that I should be doing that pinned thing. Claude doesn't know that. Claude just pulled in a bunch of shit. I saw it say Rust something or other. And I was like, oh, there's a Rust supply chain thing this week. Let me make sure that Claude didn't just pull some fucking malware for me. You know what I mean? So me, who like knows about this stuff, using an agent that's just out there pulling stuff in, like, it's just not going to happen, right? So like we've known how to solve so many problems as an industry for so many years, and we just don't do it, right? So yeah, the supply chain solutions need to be put in place, but it really needs to be solved at the NPM, PyPy, and GitHub level, period. Like they need to figure it out. Like they need to stop the fucking bleeding. Like GitHub Actions being as much of a mess as they are right now is toast. NPM needs to do something. And not very like cool guy, anarchist, libertarian of me, right? I know it's not cool to like say the government should like. Did I just Twitch? Like it looked like my stream went offline for a second. No, I'm still here. The stream went down to 0 for a sec and then came back. Sorry if stream twitched. I don't know what just happened. Not very cool guy, anarchist, libertarian of me, and I know it's like not chill to talk about the government on the internet, and asking them to help. But I think a lot of these open source, there's literally pieces of open source that are critical infrastructure, literal critical infrastructure, right? OpenSSL, XZUtils, like we saw, right? There's these packages that are quite literally load bearing on the internet, on our power grid, on our transportation infrastructure, on our everything, right? Water supply, food supply. There are open source software, little blocks, the XTD tower, right? You're here, this one little block. The government needs to fund those little fucking blocks. The government needs to come in and identify what is critical infrastructure everywhere and fund at least security around those things. At least. You got one guy managing XZUtils and they were able to get malware into it and it was installed on every Linux machine on the planet, right? And we caught it, luckily, right? But what are we doing? What are we doing? You know, like those packages need security funding. Maybe the next government. Yeah, I know. We're like killing funding to security projects now. Speaking of government, would you recommend moving to the DC area? I personally don't love the DC area. I would never move to the DC area. I would move to DC proper. The city is very cool and energetic and young. The DC area is like a little bit of a different story, right? Nova, Bethesda, like, you know, that whole like area is kind of a void, and you never escape that void, right? It's like a self-serving bubble ecosystem that like you just get sucked into, right? If you like that area, do it. I know some very happy people in Nova, right? It ain't for me, but like anyone I know from Nova has never left Nova, and like their whole family and economic well-being are tied to Nova. It's great. There's like, if you're into it, do it. I would Roman, at your age and your stage of life, try to live in like a high-rise apartment in DC. Is my advice. So you can like still be walkable, you still catch that like young, vibrant energy. I just encourage people. I made the mistake when I moved to Texas of like, I got a raise and a promotion and I moved to a lower cost of living state all in one foul swoop. And I was like, we're going to buy as much house as we can. And I'm from New York. So like little houses, whatever. I was living in California. It was super fucking expensive, and moved to Texas. It was super cheap. I was like, I'm going to buy as much house as I can out in the burbs. Quickly realized that was a mistake, right? If you don't have kids, highly recommend you not becoming a homebody in the burbs. That's what happens, right? You become a car and a homebody, right? I encourage everyone in their 20s to move into a big city. This is just my opinion. Do whatever the fuck you want. But like, there's just an energy about living in a downtown, right? Downtown Austin, you can feel it. It's electric. It's electric here. People shit talk it. Don't listen to those people. Those people are dumb. The downtown is electric here, right? People go to DFW, and they like I'm going to get this 3-bedroom house in fucking Plano. Just like, for what? For what? We had I bought a 4-bedroom house in the suburbs of Houston for like less than $200,000. My mortgage was cheaper than rent at the time. That's how cheap it was, right? It was cool to like build some equity, I guess. No, I didn't really build any equity. I'm going to sell that house for like even, right? Downtown Bakersfield is very nice. Come at me, bro. Like I said, different strokes for different folks. No hate. I know a ton of people that like talk to me and hang out with me. Just hate fucking downtowns anywhere. Downtown Austin smells like pot. Elephant Bar is pretty awesome. Speakeasy. Yeah. Yeah, there are trade-offs. You gotta be willing to not be scared of homeless people. Like some people are like, I swear, man, I go out to the outskirts of Austin sometimes for stuff, and you would like some of those people you would never catch downtown. They hate going downtown because they're just like, ew, I saw like pee on the floor, and it's like, you're weak, your bloodline is weak, you're not going to survive the winter. No, I don't know. I'm an idiot. I'm an urbanist. I believe we should be around people. I believe we are a social species. Everything that's good that's happened in my life has been via someone else helping me or me meeting someone else. Yeah, dude, I've gotten tacos thrown at me. I've gotten grabbed. I've stepped in shit. Like in DC, I got grabbed. I saw a guy poop in a bush. In SF, it's atrocious. Piss everywhere. Whatever, right? I still would encourage people to go live in SF versus fucking Fremont or something. South Congress is a fun street. Dude, some of the locals hate South Congress because it's turned into a mall. I agree with you. There's some really good food and coffee down there. You got to like be willing to take the growing city pains, right? I'm a transplant, but I've been here 11 years. So I'm allowed to have an opinion now. And it doesn't invalidate locals' opinion. They're allowed to have negative opinions about stuff. I mourn the loss of what Austin was when I first started visiting here 15 years ago. There's some really cool neighborhoods that don't exist anymore because they got too popular and they got blown over and they got big apartments and stuff, right? I mourn the loss of that. But Austin has had the steepest drop in cost of living in the country. And it's because they've built so many apartments, right? So everyone can say Rainy Street used to be so cool and now it's not. It's all these condos. Yeah. Congrats on your rent being cheaper because they built a ton of fucking condo buildings downtown, right? It just doesn't happen. Like you go to some of these other cities, there's just urban sprawl, right? It's just like everyone wants a single family home out in all directions and they want to spend 45 minutes in their car every day, right? Not me, man. Not me. If I see the same shopping center on the side of a highway too many times as I'm driving out of Austin, I get real itchy. I'm like, hey man, that's the 4th Applebee's I've seen. What are we doing? What are we doing? Where are my food trucks? Where's my good coffee at? You know what I mean? Ever have one lock on you like a video game from across the street? You know, you got to book it. Yeah, dude. Some of my earliest memories, I grew up outside New York City. One of my earliest memories of New York City is getting physically mowed over by a guy that was selling stolen watches. An undercover cop tried to bust him and he fucking ran with a milk crate full of stolen watches in his hand and literally mowed me over. And I had to have been single digits years old. I remember it. Call me 8 years old in Times Square, just getting mowed over, literally knocked to the ground, like milk crate between the shoulder blades of some guy trying to run away from a cop. Yeah, dude, this is all true. And I still think that I would go with my kid. I would go raise my kid and live in fucking Manhattan or Brooklyn right now. There's something about it, man. People get scared of the cities and scared of all this shit. And I think it's just bad with the good. Toughens you up. It's what the real world is, right? And you just meet so many people, man. You meet so many people, you get exposed to so much stuff. I don't know. When I was living in the burbs, you know what I did? I went to like the local dive bar too much and played too many video games. I'll tell you that. You know? Got really into whiskey and barbecuing at my own house. And I thought I was living in heaven. Because look at all these cool hobbies that I'm doing. And I realized that, like, what the fuck am I doing? You know? I was like, I'm 26. Like, what am I doing? Like, moved to downtown Austin. You join a startup. You're at WeWork. Fucking Elijah Wood shows up, starts DJing one day while I'm at work. You know, you start meeting people that are doing things. You start meeting people that are, like, trying to better themselves. You know, I'm friends with like 40 something cybersecurity founders in a group chat. 2 of us go to the gym a few times a week. We do these little meetups at my office where we like put people in the hot seat and talk about our businesses that we're growing. One of the guys in the room is IPO'd. One of the guys in the room, a couple of the guys in the room have been acquired. You know, some of them have taken VC money. Some of them haven't. Like, let's talk about bootstrapping versus not. Like, that shit, I'll tell you, that shit doesn't happen in Round Rock. And there's a few founders in our group that live out in Round Rock, and guess what? They never fucking drive downtown. We never see them. They're like, I can't make it today, fellas. I'm like, why not? Because you live 45 minutes away. That's why. So people that live in Austin, a lot of people that I know that like hate Austin, they move here from California and they fucking hate it. And I'm like, cool, where'd you live? And they say Cedar Park. And I'm like, that's 45 minutes outside of town. No wonder you hated it. You guys nerd snipe me. Soapbox. Anyway, Roman, yeah, DC area, get a job downtown, hang out downtown, try to live downtown is my advice. See if you fucking hate it or not. You might hate it. You might not be me. But like, I'll tell you, you go to a happy hour outside the Microsoft office in downtown DC, you probably run into some threat intel people. You might run into some people that are that are working for Mandiant, subcontracting for the government. Like, you know. Um, sorry, got text. Let's see. I think I've got calendar stuff going on today, but I think I just told someone to cancel a few things. Stand up. Is Mimecast canceled? Yeah, I think so. I've got like a sponsor. I've got a few sponsored videos coming up that I've got some like prep meetings for this afternoon, but one of them I'm trying to push because the video is until next month. I'm like, you can't prep me now. Like, that will evaporate by next month. Average word per minute? I don't know. I type pretty fast. I don't know. I haven't tried that in a while. I got a PR guy trying to get me to cover for free. Trying to get free coverage for me. I don't do earned media, man. I'm not your Wall Street Journal reporter looking for a quote from you. I'm the quote. All right, do you guys know a lot about PR and like all this kind of stuff? Oh, Roman, how's the Palo events? Palo events were actually pretty cool. I got to meet like YouTube employee number like 11 or something that now works at Palo. That was super cool and interesting. I think a lot of the AI stuff that they announced is actually legitimately cool. I know they're sponsored me or whatever, but I think a lot of it's super cool. I think the fact that they're still out there talking about the quantum stuff as Google's behind the scenes talking about quantum stuff being more important, I think is super cool. So yeah, it was cool. It was a very crowded event. So I was like jammed in there like a sardine, but it was cool. It was at a really nice venue. It was like right on the water. Just kind of like walked around the water with my buddy Andrew, who was the CEO of Signal Sciences, who I am an LP in his angel fund. Don't worry, I'm not a rich dude. It was a low amount of money, but me and Andrew got to catch up. I posted a picture. If you saw me post a picture of the guy with me and him like under the Bay Bridge, that was Andrew. He's like a VC now, angel VC. What are the 10 major cities in the U.S.? I don't know if I can get to 10. Let's see. The top 4 by population, and I think probably are legitimately the top 4, would be New York, L.A., Chicago, and Houston are the top 4 by population. And I'd say that's probably pretty close. I'd say Dallas is probably, Dallas and Houston are pretty similar vibes because they're Texas suburban sprawl with somewhat of a downtown. I don't know. Downtowns of both those cities empty out at night. Like, it's not like a cultural downtown epicenter. It's more of like an office downtown situation. And Houston is very oil and gas. If you don't work in the oil and gas industry, like downtown Houston is just like a weird place for you. I lived there for a few years. Top 4 infosec cities is a really good question. I'd say the Bay Area is probably the top density. Just the whole Bay Area in general has got to be top density wise. DC area is probably number 2 in terms of just sheer number of infosec people. It's probably the DC area. And then New York, just statistically by population, right? You're going to catch a bunch. The community isn't as strong there, though. It's such a big city that it's like, you know, there are meetups and whatnot. There's some bar meetups, but it's a lot of old school people. Seattle's got a ton, right? Amazon, Microsoft is the lion's share of that, but Seattle's got a ton. Biased, right? But Austin's security community is pretty baller. At least for the startup, you know, the founders that I hang out with. And then we have like a very active DEF CON group here, DC 512. And then we have Austin Hackers Anonymous, AHA. Yeah, Austin, we punch above our weight class in amount of security people that have moved here. For sure. All right, you guys want to hear my PR rant? So like, so PR, traditional PR, public relations, right? There's these PR people that work at these companies, and then there's PR firms, right? And PR's whole job is to have relationships with journalists and media people, right? So you're going to hire a PR firm that's going to guarantee to get your CEO on Fox News once a month, once a quarter, whatever the fuck it is, right? So their whole job is to just have that relationship, because your CEO doesn't know the person who books the person that gets interviewed on Fox News when there's a hack, right? It's the PR's job to have that relationship. It's literally it. The whole industry is just like, I have the relationships with the people that, like, the journalists who write in the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal and all this shit, right? And the journalists, they get paid full time. Like, they have a salary, right? You're a reporter at Wall Street Journal on the cybersecurity beat. You're cashing in your salary to cover the cybersecurity beat. You have a budget to like cover cybersecurity stories, right? You have a budget. You have a budget as the reporter, and you have a salary. And your job is to write the story, and you want to include quotes from experts about that story, because you're not an expert, you're a reporter, right? Maybe you know a lot about the space, you covered it for a while, but you still want to like get Alex Stamos to give you a quote, because he's the CISO of, you know, he was the CISO of Facebook and Yahoo. And like, wouldn't it be cool if I got a quote from Alex Stamos about this for my story, right? So the whole PR machine kind of facilitates those quotes in these things, or the talking head stuff, right? There's Dave Kennedy has like a really good PR person, gets him on Fox News all the time, right? Or a publicist. They're slightly different. Publicists are more individual focused. Get this person all out there, right? That's a publicist. Get this person mentioned or on podcasts, or help promote their book, or get them on TV. PR firms are more attached to a company, right? I fall in this weird middle ground, right? Like the John Hammonds of the world, low levels of the world, you know, some of the newsletter people, like the content creators. There's like a few dozen of us now, right? We're not quite journalists, right? I would never call myself a journalist. I don't have like a newsroom fact checking me. I just get up here and yap. I just have worked in this space for 18 years, right? So I'm a cybersecurity guy that now makes content about cybersecurity, right? So I'm not out here looking for quotes from experts. And if I do, I generally know them, right? The supply chain attack, I had Faraz come on my YouTube channel, be like, yo, what the hell's going on at NPM, Faraz? You're tracking the shit. Come tell me about it. What the hell's going on with browser extensions? I know a guy who runs the browser extension security company. He knows all about it. He's doing all this research. Hey, man, come on my YouTube channel, right? So I don't need PR people to like help get me experts. Either I know enough about it that I can just talk about it, or I generally know the person that like knows a lot about it, right? So I don't like work with PR people like to get me experts. PR people can't quite figure out how to use me, right? Because I got all these sponsors, right? I've got all the cybersecurity companies sponsor me, put in my newsletter. I talk about it on YouTube, whatever it is. They pay me. That's how I pay my bills now. They pay me. I do this, whatever, right? PR people don't have a budget to pay me. Their whole industry is predicated upon the reporter or the TV reporter, you know, the written reporter, the TV reporter wanting an expert quote. And this PR person knows the reporter and knows the expert, and they're going to match make, right? I don't care about a quote from, no, I'm not trying to flex. I'm just trying to give you, this is literally how I pay my bills now, right? I'm not like, whatever. I'm not looking for a quote from like the head of research at CrowdStrike to come and like give me a quote to be like, yeah, ransomware is bad, right? Like, I don't need that. Like, I don't need some head of research from CrowdStrike to come and like drop a quote in my newsletter to be like, yeah, we're seeing a rise in ransomware. Like, no, people come to me to tell them about ransomware, right? So, like, I've got a PR guy texting me right now from a vendor that's currently not a sponsor. He used to work at a sponsor. But again, he didn't really know how to use me because he didn't have a budget, like, to do, like, sponsorship stuff, right? He would fly me to events sometimes. Like, he would pay to, like, fly me out to something because then maybe I would cover it, right? Like, so he'd fly me to something that his company had a big presence at, and I would talk about it in my newsletter that I was there and, like, whatever. Right. So he had budget to like travel people out to cover things. Right. But he didn't have like, so like right now he's at a new vendor. I like this guy. I'm not talking shit to this guy. Just FYI. He left that old sponsor. He's at a new company that's a vendor, cybersecurity vendor. They're putting out blogs and research and reports. He's like, hey man, like we just put out this report. Like, I could get you interviews and if you want to make a whole video about it. And I'm like, cool. What's your promotional budget for this report? Like, if I'm making a video about it and it's like a dedicated video about your report, like that's a lot of work on my side to promote your report that I otherwise would not have promoted. Right? Like, there's good data in here, I'm sure, but I wouldn't have made a whole YouTube video about it. Right? But like, go check. One of my most recent videos was about the Palo Alto Networks report about incident response. I may or may not have made that video, but I definitely wouldn't have made a 35-minute video with as much work as I put into that video. They paid me for that. They had a promotional budget for that report. Those dedicated videos are the most expensive thing I sell. It's a ton of fucking work for me. There's an editor involved. I like have to record I have to like really understand what is being said, be able to tell a story about it. It takes a lot of work on the pre and post end of that video for a 35-minute video, right? Most expensive thing I sell, dedicated YouTube video. So I tell him, like, hey, what's your promotional budget? He goes, oh, we don't have that. Like, we don't have that. But I can get you these guys to talk to. I was like, hey man, like my YouTube calendar for like stuff is sold out through June right now, right? Like, if you're talking about me making a dedicated video about this report right now because it just came out, like, and you think I have time to like interview your staff and like produce this piece of work, it's like, no, man, like check this Palo one. They gave me early access to that report. And like, we got the video approved before the fucking report went out. You know, we were done with the video before that because we were part of their promotional campaign. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm giving you like, PR people don't know how to use me, right? Because I'm like, I can cover your report without like, like I could cover the topic of your report without your blog and without your experts because I have worked in this space for 18 years. I don't know. Sorry if this sounds like flexing. Wasn't meant to be a flex. It's just like I fall in this weird space that this guy's texting me expecting to get kind of free coverage about this like stuff that they're doing. And I'm like, hey man, this is how I pay my bills. I don't have a salary from the New York Times like to backstop me, like to then mention your shit and quote your people. It's like I pay my bills by you kind of like, I also know that his company has a lot of money. So the fact that they can't throw me a few $1,000s to mention it is just insane. You know what I mean? Like they're swimming in money. They had a giant fucking booth at RSA, right? Giant booth at RSA. Probably cost over $1 million for their booth at RSA. It's like, all right. Like you're not going to get a free, probably 2 to 3 full-time days worth of work out of me to like promote your shit. Like, no, you could throw me a few $1,000s. It's crazy. not a black hat. What was yesterday's massacre? Go look at my short that I put out ranting about everything that happened yesterday. TLDR, Claude code, source code leaked. Cisco, source code got stolen by supply chain hackers that we've been talking about for 2 weeks now. A different major supply chain hack dropped in a package that I thought would have been tied to that same supply chain hacker that's been all over everywhere for the past 2 weeks, but it's not. It was fucking North Korea. Like literal own the internet style attack. But that actual prevalent supply chain hacking group did do some additional shit last week and compromise some additional shit last week. Oracle laid off 20 to 30,000 people with 1 month severance, no health benefit. No health benefit shit, right? Man. We've got volume merch. I've got 2 different t-shirts. You guys want to see them? I can put these up on a store. I've got 2 different t-shirts. I gave them out at like a party I ran here. Isn't that pretty cool? That's a pretty cool one, right? Boom. It's pretty sick. We gave this out at an event that we threw here in Austin. I should have flown to RSA with a box of it, but you ever try to travel to a hotel with a fucking massive box of t-shirts? I have this other one. It's like rolled up, but it says like, let's get vulnerable. Come on. Focus. Let's get vulnerable. It's like a 3/4 sleeve. They're pretty good. I don't have them for sale anywhere. I just like give them away at shit. I could figure that out. I don't know. I could do a little Shopify link or something. They're really nice t-shirts. I worked with this guy from Miscreants who like does a lot of merch and whatnot. And it's like these Hanes, which way? That way. Come on. These Hanes beefy tees. Highly recommend if you're like trying to print shirts on anything. People really liked these. Sorry, I missed some of chat because I was around. Heard about them PCP cats. Yeah, so the PCP stuff is just insane. And then the Axios breach that I would have put money on that it was Team PCP because it was just fucking the same week, the same type of attack was North Korea. Yeah, I know. I saw the drama with the PCP people on Twitter this morning. They were just like ranting. They were like, talk to me with your real name. You'll pay shipping. All right, I'll figure it out. This is why I have an assistant. I'm like so not type A. So I'll have my assistant do that. Figure out how to sell those. She just walked by. Let me text her. Geez. Okay. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sponsor videos to film today, not including an organic video that I have to film to put any of these sponsors in. And then, oh God, it's tax time. Okay. Ooh, gosh. I just opened up Slack because I was supposed to be working with my assistant. We have like a stand up a few times a week to like clear out my shit, my email and everything. I just looked at my DM with my assistant and just like, oh, God. Uncle Sam definitely wants me, man. Oh my God. I did some weird shit with money this year. Sucks. Can we press Control Z on last week? Dude, I'm there with you. About Shiny Hunter. Yeah, it's like threat actor drama, right? It was like PCP talking about Shiny Hunters. Not sure why they would work with Comm Kids. Yeah. Read the Claude code leak. Is there anything that useful to learn from it? Is or just blue check mark high? Yeah, we kind of talked about it yesterday. It's kind of a nothing burger. It was still fun to go through. I mean, it's still fun to see the product, but it's not the model, right? It's not the back end, so it's just the front end. I'd say like the system prompt stuff was interesting. A lot of the unreleased features were kind of interesting about direction. A lot of people were like both. I saw some blue check marks also like having that like anti-reaction of like, why are we even talking about this? This is a nothing burger. And then like I saw a good response to that, which was, well, why wasn't it open source to begin with then? Why wasn't it open source? If it's not a big deal, why didn't they open source it to begin with? So I think that's a good point, right? You got your tax return, thinking about getting a good laptop. I think best bang for your buck is all the like low end Mac shit right now. PC, yeah, if you want to like do, I like the pre-build PCs, like Origin makes like the pre-build PCs that are like gaming rigs if you're looking to game. But I think the best bang for your buck are like the Mac Minis or even the Mac Neo and stuff right now. I mean, the Mac Neo doesn't have a lot of power, so you probably get hungry for power pretty quick. But there's a lot of like the best bang for your buck hardware right now is like kind of that bottom tier Macs going on. Vimini Max open. Claude found the vuln. Yeah, dude, I'm having Claude. I think I've had Claude find some pretty big bugs. I'm not submitting them yet because I'm trying to use them in a chain for even bigger bugs. But Claude for vulnerability research is nuts. RAM is still expensive. Yeah, for sure. Hardware's tough right now. Several people ask me. I've been saying just wait a year or two. Yeah, I wouldn't build your own, but like I said, I mean, Macs are those low end Macs are super cheap. Super cheap. Oh my God, I gotta like find all my fucking receipts from the last 9 days too. You think you escape corporate America, you're done with expense reports. Turns out no. When you own your own business, fucking a lot of things turn into business expenses and you gotta find all the receipts. Champagne problem, right? But oh man, it's a write-off and you got to put it on the corporate card. Yeah, but it's my corporate card. It's basically my money. Real talk, how many people actually take the time to sit and read all the research? If they don't pay attention, you go super fast. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. All right, so tomorrow, I'm not going to get off right now, I don't think, but I just want to talk about tomorrow's stream. I think we should watch some unprompted talks. What do you guys think? Tomorrow morning, watch some of the unprompted AI talks and like react and take some notes. So Dan Gui, there's 3 talks I want to watch. There's one from this guy, where is it? Nicholas Carlini, Black Hat LLMs. This is like this is one of the ones that like really scared some fucking people, right? Sorry, it just started playing. The top comment, all caps. This is not the video to watch before going to bed. Yeah, Unprompted was a AI security conference that happened in SF a few weeks back. I didn't go because I was like going to go to RSA in a few weeks, and I was like, I'm not flying to SF twice in a month. But a lot of the people that were local went. So yeah, this one, he's from Anthropic, and he's talking about Black Hat LLMs, and apparently it fucking terrified everybody. It's like the most watched talk there, 127,000 views. I think we watched this one. Let me cue him up. How about that? I want to watch Dan Guido. Yeah. This one. So Dan Guido runs Trail of Bits, which is like a top tier cybersecurity consulting company. I know some people that have actually left for various reasons out of there, but I think Dan kind of talks about, he's a power user. New York City cybersecurity legend Dan Guido. I met him super early, but he kind of talks about how he's made his security consulting business AI native. So that'll be a really good one. And then let's see. Let's see if, yeah, it is. And then why are all the tabs different volumes?
Thanks to
and then Dan Miesler is a homie,
and everyone,
and I use all of his tools. And he's going to talk about his anatomy of Pi, which is one of my, I literally live in, I live in 2 AI tools. I guess 3. I live a lot in Claude native now at this point because it's so good. But if I do any Claude code work, it's either with Pi, Daniel Miesler's tool, or Maestro, which is my buddy Pedro Mamini's tool. And we can talk about a lot of that. So yeah, we'll watch those tomorrow morning. I'll try to get on early tomorrow. All right, weird question. Do any of you guys have or have ever used a tonal? Did you know that tonal is? Man, I just got absolutely distracted. Hey, it's Dan. Thanks, Matt, for pointing us to Dan. Dan Miesler, yeah, he's a good dude. For some reason, he's like pissing a lot of people off. Do I have to film 2 videos? Yeah, I got to film a lot of fucking videos. Probably today. ADHD. You guys just saw that? I was just like, whoa. Here, I'll show you the distraction. I love that you guys can catch my ADHD. This is my distraction. So I follow this guy. He writes this Market Beat newsletter. So of course I follow a lot of like newsletter business people because I run a newsletter business, or at least, hinged on a newsletter business. This guy makes like $50 million a year with this newsletter, Market Beat. I don't make $50 million a year, in case anyone was curious. And he started a YouTube last year, and he's gotten to 400K subscribers. This part is the part that kind of nerd sniped me, because even at that, there's no way you're making that in AdSense revenue. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no way that YouTube is paying that much. So I'm assuming he's tying other revenue to YouTube that's not like YouTube paying him for ads, right? Tonal, no. I've been thinking about getting this tonal thing. Sponsorships. He does some, yeah, he sells ads, but he also like has other monetizations. Should we look it up? Let's evaluate his channel, shall we? Let's see. Let's look at this channel and see, how does this channel fucking make $100,000 a month? Because that's insane, right? He's also off. He's got more than 400,000 subscribers. But if we go to his videos, all right, here's the deal. I know for a fact, because he said it publicly, so they don't hide it, that he pays to promote these videos. And like, there's a little promote button on your video that you can click, and you give them $100 and they get you views, right? Or you can give them $1,000, they give you a lot more views. I've done it a few times when I've had sponsored videos that I know the algorithm isn't going to like do well, because it's like basically a commercial, right? I've like promoted those videos. Hey, the sponsor paid for this video. Let's get him some views. Organic isn't going to do great. So let's throw $100 at it, get some views, right? The weird part is the views are like a different quality of view, right? And so they're very, very low engagement, but the view number goes up, right? But if my sponsor's paying and if they catch a few more clicks on the top link, you know what I mean? Like, it's worth $100. Turns into a 1 in 10 video if you promote it. Yeah, kind of, right? But the problem is it fucks like all your stats up, right? Because it's like, oh, average views. It's like, oh my God, I got 150,000 views on that. And it was like a sponsored video. It's like, oh, well, how much of that was organic? It's hard to tell. It's like, you know, it kind of, and then it messes up your averages for the month. I really don't like doing it, right? But it's kind of part of the game at this point. It's like, you kind of like juice a ton of this. Where's the GitHub repo link for fucking what, man? Just come in here and all caps me? For what? My title isn't anything to do with the Claude Code leak, right? Anybody? My title is like chill dude, cybersecurity chillin' dude. People came in yesterday demanding the GitHub repo for the Claude Code leak, and so I'm guessing that's what that person is saying. But my title said Claude Code leak, so people were just like spamming me. So I say all that to say, I think a lot of these, this guy basically says, take your AdSense that YouTube pays you and just put it right back into promoting videos. It's like kind of what he says, is like his growth tactic. So my guess is if we go to like a video from 7 days ago, 3 stocks to buy and whatever, I'm guessing, I'm not going to look. What was it? How many views was it? It was like 50,000 views. 10% like to view ratio is like a good metric, like as a content creator. It's like, okay, that's a good engagement video. You get 1,000 views, you got 100 likes. Cool, right? If you blow that out of the water, it's a really good video, right? A lot of these promotions, you go way under that. So let me guess. 33,000 views, 1,000 likes. Way under that, right? Way under that. So this is a lot of promoted views is what I'm guessing, right? And then you get, you got a decent number of comments. So it's working. So the problem is it starts to snowball, right? No repo link for what? Why are you all capsing me? You've never been in here. Hello, Matt. Just want to say thank you for posting your content. More so these past few months of the mass attacks. Fortunately, it was not exposed, but it feels like we need to be tracking constantly. Yeah, I agree, Andrew. It's tiring. All right. So like, all right, these 4 stocks are seeing massive institutional buying. Okay.
NVIDIA making headlines.
What? How many views? 73,000, 1.7. This should have over 7,300 likes if those were organic views, right? It's like a good little check for you, okay? But they're not paying too much, so I can tell you that probably was the $100 promotion. Maybe. I don't know. Right? They're getting a bunch of comments, though. And these are legit. These aren't fake comments, because you'll see a lot of fake comment bots, too, that are just like, what a great channel. My favorite channel. Oh, the insights are fantastic. You'll see a lot of that shit. But those are real comments. So here's the problem. It starts to work, right? It snowballs. You catch subscribers from this shit, and some of them are real. A lot of it's fake, but some of them are real, and it starts to snowball. So he's probably right. You probably should throw a little juice at it, like, as you go. I try not to, but like if we go to my channel, right, I can show you. You can even see. You could tell. These are all organic, right? Hundreds of views. My channel's just been flopping this year. It's okay. But I finally caught one. I think that title is good. So I finally caught a little air. I didn't promote that one. Nothing. Hundreds. Really just flopping, right? And then you go back last year with my shittier camera, my shittier mic, and stuff starts to do well again. It's so funny. 5,000 views. Didn't promote that one. Didn't promote any of these. Didn't promote that one. And my views were great. This one I promoted. This was a sponsorship thing. So they paid me for it. So, hey, we'll give you a little money, right? Because it's basically just like an overview of their product. Didn't promote that one. That one did really well. Didn't promote any of these. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, it's weird. The interviews do really poorly. For some reason, when I interview people, they do really poorly. I don't know why. The different format, I guess, people just don't like. Trying to figure it out, man. Didn't promote any of these back then. I started to actually, this is when the channel really started to grow. which was I did a browser one. This one, 412. That's organic, baby. This is when my channel hockey sticked. This browser hack can steal everything with all the passwords and stuff. I would fall for this. I think it's my best title and my best thumbnail, and it's just a good video, and I know a lot about that topic, right? And then this is my second best video that still catches a lot of views. Signal, WhatsApp, Telegram. I think these were really good. These are really good videos, right? Oh God, my subs are showing. Yeah, I'm a Pokemon nerd. I'm a Pokemon nerd. I didn't realize I was leaking my subs. Yeah, it's okay. So that's when stuff really started to take off. Some of these other ones did okay. Then you go way back and it's like Matt's first trying to learn how to do YouTube and it was bullshit. Really bad. Matt tries to learn how to do YouTube. Bright colored bullshit. And then I was like, I give up. All right. Bought the studio, stopped doing it in my living room, stopped trying to look nice for it. I was like, what's up? You going to hang out with me here or not? Anyway, that's why I got nerd sniped, was that Market Beat guy saying that he makes $100K a month in revenue. Also, you have 600,000 something subscribers. Oh, wait. I wanted to look because besides the views, is it interesting to you guys, like the business of creatordom? It's always interesting to me. So I talk about it because I've had to learn a lot about it. All right. So like, sorry, you guys have been talking. You came across my Insta Reels, drew me across to YouTube. Hey, it worked. There's at least 2 of you in here that have come from short form video. It's really hard to cross audiences, man. My short forms do super well. My long forms don't. So I'm just going to keep doing. You have an idea about the interviews. Do the interview, then narrate. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Fred, I'm doing that for my next one. So I interviewed the guys that found the iOS exploits on those Russian servers that just came out. I interviewed them, but I'm not going to just put it out as an interview. I'm just going to cut sound clips out of them and make my more natural video explaining the iOS exploits and then just like slap in quotes from the guys who found the fucking exploit. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do that right now. I've got my editor cutting up the interviews from those guys. Unfortunately, we just did it in Google Meet. We didn't even do it in Riverside, so we'll see. Probably schedules every single post with Hootsuite. It's interesting. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So what I want to know, okay, this had 30,000 views. Like 30,000 views doesn't get you shit in AdSense. It's a few dollars, right? So there's no way that is contributing to the $100,000 in revenue. Well, yeah, here you go. This is how they're attributing revenue. Okay? So look at that /Y. I guarantee this is a dedicated YouTube page. That's /Y/ something lead magnet, free lead magnet. Guarantee. Yep. 100% free. Just sign up and give us your text. He talks about on Twitter all the time. He's seeing so much more revenue from SMSing people than email. Like he's texting people news and shit and people fucking love it. I was like, I would never spam. I was like, I would block anyone who spammed me shit to my phone. I replied to him on Twitter about that. And he was like, you are not your customer. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. That's why you're flying in a private jet. and I don't have a car. I do. We're a 1-car house. It's by choice. This is it, right? Look, we're not even on the /Y anymore, right? So the /Y is definitely a YouTube track. The offer, can you guys see the URL bar? I don't know if I cut that off. Registration code. Yeah, registration code YouTube free premium article. Oh, you can't see it? Here is my email address. So like market beat, the Y falls off, article offer. So it's not even that same link, right? Then the offer equals this is the title, is in the offer. And then the next parameter is registration code, YouTube free premium article. So I guarantee in that 100K a month, he's tracking people that came from YouTube, signed up, and then wound up buying something. So he's attributing that revenue to someone who came in through YouTube. I don't have any of that. I don't have any like those back end fucking offers. Andrew, thanks for all the good feedback and coming by. Thank you. Appreciate you. I don't have any of those back end offers. That's what I'm trying to, I'm honestly trying to figure out. Just like letting you guys know, right? I'm trying to figure out how to pay my bills with more than just sponsorships. I don't want to tie my livelihood to people's marketing budgets, you know? And just shill ads to you guys all the time. Luckily, I'm in a point where I can turn down sponsorships right now, so I don't really shill anything to you guys that I feel icky about. I turn down all VPNs. Every VPN is asked to sponsor my channel, by the way. Every single one of them has dedicated creator reach out teams, and you better believe I was on their radar. I don't fuck with VPNs. I will not promote a VPN to you guys. Hard rule. Yeah, Nord was early, but all of them, right? Even the one, like, I don't think Proton's a shady company. I think Proton's on the up and up, and I still just out of principle, I'm like, I'm not going to be I don't know. I thought about being a Proton partner because I use Proton Mail. If I have to use a VPN, I'll use Proton VPN. But like, I don't believe in like the security ad. There's no security value to a VPN for the most part. So I just don't want to be the security guy that says you need a VPN because you don't. It's a privacy tool. It's a geo tool. But security tool? No. So, and I'm a security guy. Yeah, Proton did give some info that they had to law enforcement to like to help unmask some of their users. And I think it was like, maybe it was like protesters at like an ICE rally or something, right? So people were like, what the fuck? We use Proton for this exact reason. Yeah, it's part of the selling point for sure. And so that's why people are like, hey, wasn't the whole thing that they're in like Switzerland and they don't have to listen to the US government? And then they did. Like, what's up with that? This is what I'm saying. This is why I don't shill any of this stuff. I think Proton's a decent product, but like the marketing about it being like this safe haven, untouchable safe haven is just like not quite it. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're trying to build like an AI community offer. I do a ton of work with Delete Me. I like Delete Me. Delete Me is one of my longest running sponsors. I have a discount code with them. I used them before I ever created content. Delete Me is a no-brainer. It's like there's no like crazy special product offering there. It's a pretty cheap offering, and they go and write all these letters that you got to write to get the data brokers to delete your shit. Later, Fred. What should someone do to VPNs to stay safe on the internet? I mean, what do you mean stay safe? Like what did you think VPNs were doing to make you safer? Yeah. Roman, they've got the free docs, and then if you don't want to do it yourself, you pay them like $100 and they go and write all these letters for you that otherwise you would have to go write. I think that's pretty chill. I don't mind shilling Delete Me at all. Like I said, I used it way before I was creating content. It's a cheap offer. Like whatever. Self-hosted VPN. Yeah, I use Tailscale. It has nothing to do with security. right? It's because I got a Mac Mini on my desk that I want to use for my phone when I leave some AI shit running on it. Yeah, of course I use Tailscale. It's not for security. A lot of VPNs are like public Wi-Fi is the hacker's playground. If you're on public Wi-Fi, hackers can see everything you're doing. Is their marketing, right? And it's bullshit. It was true for a very brief period of time, like in early Wi-Fi days. HTTPS is everywhere now. Everywhere. If you're on a modern device, on a modern browser, you have HTTPS and it's fucking pinned. Unavoidable. VPN isn't adding anything on top of HTTPS except DNS, right? So a lot of people are like, what about DNS? It's just like, yeah, okay. So that's a privacy thing, not a security thing. That's what websites are you going to, is what the internet provider that you're on can see, right? When you use a VPN, guess what? Now the VPN provider can see what websites you go to. So in reality, you're no more private. You just traded who the fuck can see what websites you're going to. You just traded it. So instead of whoever owns the Wi-Fi that you're on or the ISP that you're using, it's the VPN provider. And then the free ones are stealing and selling your data. 100%. 100%. The free VPNs out there are just, they're like, oh, cool. We're basically a data broker. You're using our shit. So like, it's just a minefield, right? DNS is solved as long as the user has DOH compatible server. Sure, but like, yeah, but what I'm saying is like, if you're just on public Wi-Fi, raw dogging public Wi-Fi, they can see what websites you're going to. It's just like, that's how GET requests work, right? Like, HTTPS encrypts anything below the GET request, right? The headers, the body, like, so your password and everything. But GET requests are the URLs that you're going to, like, that gets seen. So if you do a VPN, you hide that shit, right? But you're just transferring it. So I hate this. Like, I would never want to stand up here and like promote it as like, oh, you've done it. You've like now you can go do anything, right? It's like, no. You know how many criminals like think that they're on a VPN and then they Google search like how to hide a body because they're on a VPN? It's like, that's not, you didn't do anything. Like you didn't do anything that you thought you did to hide what you're doing. You know, they're just victims of the bad marketing. So I'm just not adding to the noise of the bad marketing there. None of my peers create ads for VPNs, I'll tell you that. None of the security people do. No, like the YouTube people that do it, no, I can't hate. They don't know enough. You know what I mean? Linus is like a tech guy, right? Nord is paying Linus's bills. They probably control a lot of the copy that he has to say and talk about. He's probably got to abide by their marketing guidelines, like all the NordVPN stuff. They have to, you know, they give you marketing guidelines. You got to say it, you know, whatever. I can't hate on the players. But yeah, the VPN providers, the deceptive marketing tactics, yeah, fuck all that. That sucks, you know? All right, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap. We're gonna do the unprompted Matt J unprompted con tomorrow. Okay. We're gonna watch 3 unprompted talks at 1.5 speed and react. You're working on a story about the White House app. I honestly, a bunch of people sent me some videos about it. I have not dug into it. It didn't come across any of my news feeds. It was just like kind of viral videos about it. So none of like the actual security feeds that I follow made us think about it. That leads me to believe that a lot of it is sensationalist. Like a lot of the issues with it are sensationalist, right? A lot of apps track location and shit. You know what I mean? Like a lot of permissions just exist on a lot of these apps. I'm speaking out my ass because I've watched some of these videos of people freaking out about it. Unparalleled access. I mean, basically anything out of this White House is just steaming pile of dog shit, right? Just like in case you're curious where I stand. I would like it to not be ambiguous where I stand. But I also don't want to jump on sensationalist stuff, right? So tracks your GPS every 4.5 minutes, loads JavaScript from some guy's GitHub pages. It's like, all right. A, why is there a White House app, right? I also hate that like the official government social media accounts are partisan right now. They generally were nonpartisan news sources, and now it's like the Democrat shutdown of the TSA, like from the official White House account, which is just so fucking stupid, right? It shouldn't be coming out like that. What the app actually does, I extracted every string. Here, you want this link? This guy like decompiled it. I have not done this level of like research into it, right? Other hard-coded strings, the Trump effect, greatest president ever, text President Trump, send text to President Trump. So this is like text in it that he thinks is embarrassing. There's a link to the ICE tip form, because of course there is. This app has a web view for opening external links. Every time a page loads in this web view, the app injects JavaScript that bypasses paywalls and cookie banners and GDPR stuff. So like built-in browsers in apps are notoriously bad. So I'm guessing a lot of this isn't like specifically bad because it's the White House app and they're trying to do this. I'm guessing it's just like they're using some bad mobile app built-in browser. Native app injects JavaScript on the React web view. Location tracking. The plugin that's supposed to strip location. The tracking doesn't start silently. The 3 gates. Yeah, I mean, like, why does it need your location is a great question. A ton of apps have like too many permissions that they need, right? So like I don't immediately jump to like the White House is trying to get everyone to download this and track their location. It's just like, no, more likely they're using some framework or whatever with a bunch of this bullshit built in that a lot of other apps ask for too many permissions for. So tracking isn't unconditionally active, but there's an entire pipeline including permission strings, interval constants, fused location requests. Expo plugin didn't strip any of this. Your location, your notification interactions, your in-app message clicks, your phone number if you provide it, your tags, all go into one signal. Loading JS from some guy's GitHub page. I mean, this is every app on the internet right now. Is filled with supply chain nonsense. So like, yeah, it's bad, but is it like purposefully bad? No. This is stupid. That's just like a best practice. Oh, you talked to this guy? Cool. Yeah, if you DM me on Instagram, I can get you like an email to talk to me about it. Third-party services, heard from cybersecurity folks, it's just weird for a government app. No one has implied anything malicious. Yeah, I think that's why I like haven't really reacted to it. It's just like, it's just another dumb thing that we could get distracted about out of the White House. I don't think it's like, oh my God, the White House is tracking you. You know, it's just like, it's dumb. They're probably using some shitty developers who are using a shitty framework, does a bunch of shitty stuff. But I can give you like a much more official quote on my thoughts if you'd like, instead of whatever I just said. Or feel free to quote exactly what I just said. That's fine by me too. This lives on my YouTube channel, right? All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap. My assistant leaves in an hour, and she's trying to help me do my taxes and stuff. So I'm gonna try to catch her and get her all the info she needs out of me. And we'll do unprompted Matt J. Con in the morning. We'll watch some of those talks. We'll put them on like 2x speed, so we fly through them, and I'll react. And we'll kind of go from there. Sound good? All right. I'm gonna try to get on a little early. I don't know how early. Probably the earliest I can realistically get on is 8:30 Central. But I'm gonna try to start a little early so that I can get to the newsletter. 8:30 Central. My target time usually is between 8:30 and 9 Central. So I'm going to try to get to the earlier part of that tomorrow so that we can bang through it so I can go put the newsletter out. Speaking of the newsletter, if you're not subscribed already, if you're new here, please subscribe to Twitch, YouTube, wherever you're watching me, and subscribe to my newsletter. It's the best way to support what I do. I got to do the typical YouTuber shit, right? Don't forget to smash that like button. But seriously, if you're here and you were down to hang out, you'll probably like my newsletter. It comes out every Friday. And that's why Thursdays I try to wrap streams so that I can actually fucking write the newsletter without killing myself and staying up super late. All right, guys.